I'm seated on the new Suzuki Burgman Street, and I'm sorry to break your heart this early, but it is not a 150. But there's nothing to be upset about because this is a genuine upgrade for a capable scooter that has enamored Indians over the last few years. So captivating is the Burgman Street formula that over 11 lakh people have bought one, and sales have doubled in the last 3 years, which should tell you just how popular this Suzuki is. And it looks different, it has an upgraded engine, it has more useful features, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know in this first look video. My name is Amaan Ahmed and you are watching Car and Bike. In case you haven't done it already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time we come out with a new video. Now let's take a closer look at the new Burgman Street. So what I like about the Burgman Street is that from the front you can tell immediately that this is a new model. That goes down primarily to its headlight design, because the older Burgman had a single piece headlight. Now you can see you have these twin pod LED headlights with these brow-like LED daytime running lights. I think it looks quite smart, even though the face of this scooter to me looks like that of an electric scooter. I don't know if it's because we've been riding too many of those of late, but that's what it looks like to me. And you have this copper element up front which adds some much needed depth to the face. Also different is this fly screen, which is now smoked. Earlier you had a clear fly screen, now it is smoked, and I think it goes with the persona of the scooter. And down here you will see the wheel design remains exactly the same. The tire size also remains exactly the same. It's a 90/90 section 12-inch front. The disc brake at the front as before, but interestingly Suzuki has chosen not to put anti-lock brakes on this scooter just yet. We saw it a few months ago on the new Access, but this surprisingly does not get it. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm not too happy. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Talking about the other body panels of the scooter, you will see that Suzuki has gone to the extent of changing most of these compared to the outgoing Burgman Street. With the Access, if you remember what Suzuki did last year, it was basically just a mild reskin of the outgoing Access, but that is not the case with this Burgman. You can see these side panels have been completely reshaped, restyled, and Suzuki tells us this has been done to give it a more curvaceous look and not a sharp look like the older Burgman Street had. This grab rail has also been redesigned, and over here you will see it has a brand new tail light. It looks like an inverted U. And over here is something super important. This is the external fuel filler lid, which we have sorely missed on the Burgman Street. You had to get up off the seat, open the seat to access the fuel filler. That's no longer the case. You can simply flip this open and you're good to go. And another big change is that the new Burgman will come with a 12-inch rear wheel as standard. Previously, the base Burgman Street used to come with a 10-inch wheel, but that is no longer the case. So now when you buy a Burgman Street, it will come with a 12-inch rear wheel. And there is also a redesigned exhaust. Now let's get on the scooter and take a look at what's new over here. The dimensions have not changed, but this scooter is now heavier than before. It weighs in at 114 kilos, so that's roughly a 3 to 4 kilo increase. That despite the frame of the Burgman Street being changed. Suzuki tells us that the frame is now 500 grams lighter and it's also more rigid, but curb weight has still gone up. When I sit on the scooter, it feels more or less the same as the outgoing Burgman Street, and that's because the riding position is basically unchanged. You have a nice and wide floorboard, so there's lots of room for you to move your feet around, and in case you don't want to place them down here, you can also place them over here and be a little more comfortable. The seat also feels the same as before. The cushioning feels the same. The shape and the size of the seat also feels the same. The handlebar also has not been changed, and the controls will feel familiar to anybody who's ridden a Burgman Street before. You have your headlight controls on the left cube along with the turn indicator and the horn button, and your start switch over here along with a hazard switch on the right cube. But there is a big change over here because now you get a 4.2-inch color TFT, which was not available with the Burgman Street so far. This was added to the Access last year, and it has logically made its way to the Burgman Street as well. And of course, it has Bluetooth connectivity, turn-by-turn navigation, and fits the premium positioning of the Burgman Street a lot better. Suzuki tells us that the exhaust note will be a lot nicer than before. I'm sure you want to know what it's like, so let's see if we can fire this up and see what it sounds like. You'll see that the old style lock has been replaced by this multi-function lock, and that's because the Burgman Street now gets keyless go in the top variant. This again looks a lot nicer than before. It has storage over here. This is an open cubby hole. On this side is a nicely finished glove compartment, and it has a USB Type A charger. Over here, you will now find 24.6 liters of underseat storage space. This is around 3.5 liters more than before, and it looks like a fairly well-shaped underseat storage compartment. You will be able to fit quite a lot of items in here, even though we're not quite sure if full-size, full-face helmet will fit in here. Suzuki has made similar upgrades to the engine as what we saw with the 2025 Access. So it now has upgraded internals, and you now have a little more torque lower down in the rev range. Suzuki has done this to make urban riding a lot easier, because you will have a lot more of the power lower down the rev range. You won't have to rev the motor too hard to be able to access all the power. And there is also a one-way roller type clutch that has been added for quieter starts, is what Suzuki tells us. Now to talk about the variants and the pricing. So you have two variants with the new Access. There's a base Ride Connect variant, and then there's a Ride Connect TFT. The main difference, of course, is that the Ride Connect TFT gets the TFT display and keyless go, and the difference in pricing is around 10,000 rupees, because the base Burgman Street starts at around 1,02,000 rupees and the top spec variant costs 1,13,000 rupees. Between these two models, the existing Street EX will continue, because Suzuki thinks there will still be buyers for the older design, people who prefer the design of the outgoing Burgman Street, and then they will also have the option of going with this. The big difference will be that the current Street EX will not benefit from any of the upgrades that you see on this model. So that was a quick first look at the new Burgman Street. But tell me, what do you think of this new scooter? Are you happy with the changes that Suzuki has made? Are there any other features that you were hoping to see? Were you really wishing for a bigger Burgman Street? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. If you have any feedback for us, then we'll be happy to hear that. So leave that in the comments too. If you enjoyed watching this video and found it informative, then remember to give us the thumbs up. And if you know somebody who'd be interested in the new Burgman Street, then remember to share this video with them.